What's up, guys? Quick video here that I was asked to do. I've been getting a ton of DMs and seeing posts on hot topic right now, arm injuries in baseball. So this is going to be my personal opinions from my professional experience on what's going on. All right, and I'm going to address this with the aspect of it being related to youth baseball. All right, so we're talking Little League, travel ball, all the way up to high school, because at the college level and our level in the pros, you have a completely different set of circumstances, but all of the stuff going on at the youth level plays a part and a big factor, in my opinion, on why we're seeing arm injuries at the pro level as well. Okay, so not in any particular order. A big one that stands out to me is at the youth level. I've got an 8-year-old and a 10-year-old, and so when I go to Lee's games, a lot of times I'll see the other team just taking the field and throwing, right? They arrive at the field. Maybe they'll go to the batting cage first. Maybe they'll go to the line first, and they start throwing. Or not even on the field. They'll be off to the side since another game's probably going on, and they start throwing, okay? There's no warm-up first. That's something that youth baseball has to move away from, all right? You don't throw to warm up. You have to prepare your body before you start throwing. Throwing and playing catch is not a warm-up for baseball. All right, dynamic warm-up first. I've got a bunch of videos on this channel on dynamic warm-ups. I'll link the most popular one in the description on this video, so it's easy to get to. You have to do a dynamic warm-up first. All right, otherwise you're increasing the injury risks of your kids. And it might not happen on your watch. It might not happen when they're 11U, 12U. It might be something that happens down the line when they're in high school or college, or even at the pro level. Right, the damage when you're talking about the rotator cuff, the labrum, the UCL, usually it's not one specific incident that causes it in baseball, all right, unless it's a collision or an impact like hitting the ground. If it's gonna be an overuse injury, it happens over time. Okay, so yeah, your 12-year-old might be able to throw 100 pitches today. Okay. Just because you can do that today doesn't mean it's a good idea, because down the road, it's going to come back to get them. Okay, so that leads into my second topic. Okay, pitch counts. We've got to have pitch counts. There are tournaments that use inning limits for a weekend, and that's not the answer. Okay, you can have 3 pitches in an inning, or you can have. I've seen a 14-year-old throw 73 in an inning. So 73 pitches on one of those tournaments in an inning counts the same as a 3-pitch inning. Come on, that's honestly bullshit. Okay, tournaments need to institute a pitch count. Coaches need to be educated on a pitch count. Parents need to be educated on a pitch count. Okay, you can go on Google and type in MLB Pitch Smart guidelines. All right, it's gonna come up. In my opinion, I would prefer them to be lower than they are, but they're pretty good, all right? And it breaks down by age group how many pitches your kid throws, how many days rest they need, okay? So I'm just kind of making this video as I'm sitting here charging my car. We're about to be in a rain delay for our game today, so this is what I'm doing, all right? It's kind of just off the top of my head. Let's say your kid is 12 and let's say they throw 40 pitches, all right? I don't remember exactly what the rest period is, but let's say it says 2 days rest, okay? Don't pick up a baseball for 2 days. There's plenty of other stuff you can do to improve your game. That's not on the mound, okay? Work on some S&C stuff. I've got a great book out, Move Like a Pro. It's a bestseller. If you want some ideas on how to develop the younger kids for strength and conditioning, I've got full programs on this YouTube channel for the older kids for strength and conditioning. All right, doesn't need to be expensive. You can follow my stuff for free. All right, that's why it's there. It's a resource. That leads me into the third thing. Kids are not training properly. All right, they're not doing arm care, which I've got plenty of videos on arm care on here as well. They're not doing arm care after they throw. They're not warming up properly, and they're not doing enough S&C or any S&C at the youth level that benefits them, okay? You can go to, a lot of high schools have their football coaches or, PE teacher running the weight room, and they're training like either a bodybuilder or a football player. That's not for baseball, okay? Baseball needs anti-rotational stability exercises, and they need rotational power exercises. They need lower body power exercises, upper body stability, and strength exercises, all right? So many high school programs and youth programs that I see out there, they're completely missing the anti-rotational stability, okay? If all you're trying to do is rotate faster to either throw faster or, now we're gonna get off on a tangent here, on swing faster, you have to be able to stop. You have the same distance to stop, so you have to build the brakes. That's where the anti-rotational stuff comes in. Again, plenty of videos on this channel on that topic. Go ahead and look at them. That brings up the next topic, all right? The next reason that I think stuff's going on with youth arm injuries, all right? We talked about, now I just lost my train of thought, right? We talked about the pitch counts, we talked about the training, we talked about the warm-ups. Oh, and this one trickles down from our level at the pros. Everything at our level has become analytical, right? The baseball analytics are really dominating how we train and how we do stuff, and that's trickling down to the college level, high school level, and youth level. All right. Right now for pitchers, everything's about the velo and the spin rate. Okay. 8-year-olds don't need to be on a radar gun. All right. I think it's very useful to know how fast they can throw, because you can measure improvement, and if it's not measurable, you can't necessarily improve it. If it's measurable, you can make a plan and you can see it being improved. Okay, so from that aspect, I'm okay with it, but the kids don't need every single pitch clocked. Okay, I mean, the problem that you're seeing is every single pitch is being thrown at 100% effort, and over time you are going to end up getting hurt by doing that. All right, Greg Maddux is very famous for not throwing hard, and generally when somebody brings up either Greg Maddux or Nolan Ryan in a pitching conversation, I completely tune them out, because those are two unicorns. But Maddox's point that I've heard him make before is very valid. Okay, he lived in the mid to upper 80s. He made his career there. He could throw in the 90s. Okay, he just didn't, because he didn't need to. Okay, he never had arm issues. All right. I believe it was Kurt Schilling that recently said it. If it wasn't Kurt, I apologize to whoever said it. But I'm pretty sure it was him that said that he generally stayed about 85 to 90% effort when he pitched. If he needed to kick back and fire one through to blow by someone, then he could. All right. But he didn't have arm issues, right? Where now every single pitch, regardless of what pitch it is, it's being thrown as hard as possible. And Dr. Andrews has mentioned stuff before that the UCL isn't really fully developed until the mid to late 20s. It's a very small ligament. So if you're creating a high amount of force relative to your body, for the younger kids as well, eventually it's going to wear down and you're going to have an issue. So throwing at 100%, like I talked to my son about it, and when I don't have him pitch much. He's got 30 pitches max in a game. When he does pitch, his coach is really cool and on board with that. He's not trying to blow away the radar gun. He's throwing at about 85, 90% effort, because we're trying to protect his arm. And that's my suggestion to a lot of you guys. Warm up properly, have an arm care program, be on a pitch count, use the Pitch Smart guidelines for your rest between pitches, and don't try to throw every single pitch at the youth level 100%. Now if you're a high schooler and you're trying to get a scholarship or get on a college team or trying to go in a draft, and you're and you need to dial it up a notch, it's going to make you money, then obviously you need to do it. But at the youth level, and the majority of high school players, every single pitch doesn't need to be at 100% effort. Okay, again, I've got a lot of info in other videos. I'll link some of them below on this channel. It's really meant to be a free resource for you guys, to help you, so take advantage of it. Give it a like, give it a subscribe, help us grow the channel to help be a better resource for youth baseball. All right, have a good day, everyone.